Here I am with Andrew Miller from Benchmark Mineral Intelligence, all the way from London. He's here at the Energy Investment Forum, ARC's Energy Investment Forum, to talk about the supply chain for lithium-ion batteries and all of that. So first question I have for you is we've presented here at the forum that there are some forecasts, including government projections, that see a tenfold increase in the amount of EV sales between now and 2020, so 4 short years. Or less. Do you think that's reasonable in terms of the supply chain to supply all those batteries?
It's going to be difficult. When you look at the types of minerals and metals that are used in lithium-ion batteries, a lot of the materials aren't big commodities. They're things like lithium, cobalt, graphite, not big industries and not really set up for the type of growth that number of vehicles would really require. So there's been a lot of investment over the past few years in developing new resources, developing new material development plants and equipment, and the industry is certainly looking towards those forecasts, but there's a long way to go for the raw materials to be in place.
What do you think is reasonable in the next, let's say, 4 years? Like, could we see a doubling or a tripling as opposed to the tenfold projected by some governments?
We don't really look at the electric vehicles. What we try and look at is the raw materials through to your anode and cathode materials, and really looking at where the battery manufacturers are gearing up. So we see some huge developments in terms of battery capacities, particularly in China, other parts of Asia as well, and obviously in North America. And really how those new plants are able to ramp up will really dictate the number of vehicles that you see on the roads. But as we say, the upstream part of the market is separate from that at this time, and there's going to need to be a lot more investment and integration in those raw materials for those type of growth forecasts to prevail.
And what is the time frame? Like, let's say we've decided the demand is much higher than we thought, but now we've got to build new mines. Is that a long time period, many years, between greenfield mine actually being conceived and actually the first production?
Yeah, it can take a number of years, especially in these type of niche minerals and metals. It can take anywhere from 5 to 10 years, really, to bring a new mine into production. And then the critical thing about these types of minerals and metals as well is they're not big commodities. So you really need to be able to refine that material, particularly to go into the battery industry. And it's being able to have that supply chain in place to take the material out of the ground, but then process it to the necessary specification. That's really key. But it does take a number of years. So there's a number of producers looking to and investing in that at the moment. But it's a big target if you look at some of the growth projections from the vehicle side of things.
Right. Well, this is a really fascinating discussion. Thank you for coming to the forum. I think when people think about electric vehicles, no one ever talks about the supply chain behind them and what a constraint that might be to growth. So thank you for attending.
Oh, thanks for your time. Thank you.